On December 26, 2022, in Garden City, Georgia, what began as a simple traffic stop for a missing taillight would reveal something far darker. Behind the black helmet and the speeding motorcycle was Steven Wilson, a wanted fugitive with multiple felony warrants and a revoked license. When troopers lit him up on GA-25, Wilson acted like he was pulling over, but it was just a trick. He dropped his body low and launched into a high-speed run, quickly hitting 113 miles per hour.
X-ray Tom Sam 891. Get you ready. Coming up. Ring, he just ran in the back of a car.
Suddenly, the chase ended in disaster. Wilson tried to merge back from the shoulder into traffic, but at that speed there was no room. He slammed into the rear of another vehicle, sending him tumbling into the left lane. Troopers rushed to save him, performing CPR on the pavement, but it was too late. Wilson succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The other motorist walked away unharmed, but the truth quickly came out. Wilson was no ordinary speeder. He was wanted for probation violation on drug charges, contempt of court for DUI, and as a federal escaped prisoner. A single missing taillight turned into a fatal pursuit, a stark reminder that for some fugitives, one bad choice behind the handlebars can be their last. On July 4th, 2025, it was Independence Day in Arkansas. While most people were grilling burgers or heading to the lake, one man decided fireworks weren't enough. John Robert Stevenson Jr. was behind the wheel of a purple Dodge Charger, and instead of celebrating freedom, he was about to test it at 167 miles per hour. When Corporal Bob Love lit him up on I-530, Stevenson wasn't slowing down. He blasted past traffic on the shoulder, weaving through lanes and pushing the Charger far beyond its limits.
Primary.
25, I'll be you primary.
20.
You got a gap on it. He's cutting in and out. Other people are primary. I'm not sure if it's primary or secondary, but I'm third. I'm westbound to Service Road, speed over 100.
Back on interstate.
Radar locked him at 158 in a 75, more than double the speed limit. As the chase roared north, Stevenson slipped off at exit 24, vanishing into the back roads. Troopers fanned out, scanning for the purple muscle car. For a moment, it seemed like he was gone. But dispatch wasn't done. Word came in that the Charger was spotted again, this time on I-530 near the 7-mile marker. Troop A units jumped in, and the pursuit reignited.
On the third row now. Still on the third road, 30 westbound.
We are passing into PDASP with Benton.
10-4.
Eventually, the Charger wrecked out and troopers closed in, bringing Stevenson's run to a violent end. Stevenson's reckless ride didn't just end with a wrecked Charger. It ended with a mountain of charges. Fleeing with serious injury, multiple counts of battery, reckless driving, fictitious tags, and more traffic violations than we can count. From 167 miles an hour to a cold jail cell, proof that no matter how fast you think you are, Arkansas State Police will catch up. On March 3, 2022, in Gwinnett County, Georgia, a silver Porsche Cayman flying down the I-85 at nearly 120 miles per hour. What should have been a luxury drive turned into a reckless display of speed, swerves, and pure disregard for anyone else on the road. And when Trooper Thomas lit him up, the driver made a decision that would change everything. Instead of stopping, the Porsche pushed harder, darting through lanes, weaving across traffic, and forcing other drivers to slam their brakes.
He's going to be a 1080. Going northbound, coming up to exit 96. He's an HOV. Exit 96. North Crest Road, 96. Still northbound, number 1 lane. Clear, northbound, number 1 lane.
The driver drove onto the right shoulder, trying to outmaneuver the trooper. But at that speed, control is a fantasy. The Porsche slammed into a tow truck that was actively loading a disabled pickup. The force wedged the Cayman under the truck, sending debris flying and hurling the pickup's driver, Hugo Martinez, over the median wall onto Dawson Boulevard.
Looks like a 1050, real bad 1050. 1050. Go ahead and start 52 to 51 as well.
1050. They're going to be front porch in the car.
Hey, show me your hands. Both of them. Don't move.
Hit somebody and it him.
Oh, you stupid mother! Don't you goddamn move!
I think he's making a flag.
558, Marietta. Go ahead and start skirt. He struck a truck. Get out! Get out! I don't care if you fall. Get out! Lay down!
When Trooper Thomas approached, he found the Porsche's driver, Victor Allen Smith, dazed and lethargic, slurred speech, watery eyes, barely able to focus. Signs of impairment were everywhere. Unfortunately, the person that was injured was later pronounced dead. On March 3, 2023, exactly 1 year after the crash, a Gwinnett County jury found him guilty of felony murder and homicide by vehicle in the first degree. The verdict was swift, and the final sentence was life in prison without the possibility of parole. On November 22, 2023, 4 suspects, a car full of stolen merchandise, and 1 driver who decided the only way out was to use her vehicle as a weapon. Deputy Hutcherson rolled up just as the suspects were loading their haul into a Nissan sedan, but instead of giving up, the driver, Brishea Glover, threw the car in reverse and slammed straight into his patrol unit. If that wasn't enough, the front passenger, Antonio Williams, leaned across, grabbed the wheel, and floored the gas, aiming the car directly at the deputy standing outside.
Color. Nissan. They're turning towards Payton there.
The Nissan tore westbound on State Road 200, weaving through traffic, blowing past cars, and nearly causing head-on collisions. But at Lofton Oaks, the sedan's reckless flight came to a violent end.
Signal 4!
The suspect lost control, skidding across the median, going airborne and crashing into an oncoming car. The impact mangled both vehicles. Inside the innocent car was 26-year-old Sierra Fawcett, who suffered serious injuries and had to be rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, the suspects were trapped inside their vehicle, surrounded by stolen clothes still tagged from Kohl's, and narcotics tucked into the pockets of one passenger, Jackery Haney. All 4 suspects were taken into custody after receiving medical treatment, with charges ranging from aggravated assault on law enforcement to aggravated fleeing, theft, possession of narcotics, and even contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The total damage was nearly $1,800 in stolen merchandise recovered, multiple felony charges, and one innocent driver badly hurt because a group of thieves decided escape was worth more than human life. In Tittabawassee Road, Michigan, troopers were topping off their tanks at a Speedway gas station when a routine refill turned into something much bigger. Sitting just a few pumps away was a vehicle tied to a wanted man, Greg Atwood, a suspect in an assault with intent to murder case out of Bay County. As Atwood pulled out of the lot, troopers fell in behind and lit him up. But instead of stopping, he hit the gas. With authorization to pursue, the chase was on.
Crashing out. Oh wait, breathe. Going north on Adams. I don't want to fit them with
North on Adams.
ourselves. Let's get a second car here.
Can you get a hold of SBSU?
Southbound 75. Jumping on southbound 75.
North on the south.
Flat front passenger tire. Confirm that he's got a handgun. Do we know if does have a handgun on? Good thing I had a felony before authorizing this to be blown out.
Blue front passenger tire.
Yep. Going right to the back of the car, okay?
3108, I didn't copy it.
We're going to be on rim. Front passengers on.
3145, are you pit trained?
Yes.
The suspect's car was already showing damage, but the lead trooper held back from making a move. With the possibility that Atwood could be armed, caution came first. Still, as more units joined in and the risk on the road grew higher, it became clear it was only a matter of time before a pit would be the only option left.
Northbound, get ready to pit.
Too fast.
Yeah.
We're not making it through here. Watch out, whoever this is.
Going into oncoming.
33.
I copy you at 33, you're broken.
Keep locking him up.
45, it's your call. Going into the city and stuff.
Watch out! Going west on 24th by Webster.
One truck 24th near Webster.
Hitting at 24th River.
24th River.
Still going.
Going the wrong way.
2 pit attempts were made, but both failed. The suspect held control of the wheel, fighting off each maneuver and keeping the chase alive, and it would have been far better if those pits had worked, because what the suspect did in the next few seconds is something no one on scene could have imagined.
Crash.
He's crashing out.
Into a house.
Yeah.
He went through a house.
He just went through a house.
Copy, went to your house. Where are you? Garfield, South Columbus.
He hasn't got out.
The suspect lost control and slammed into the side of a house. The impact left the vehicle mangled, wedged into the structure. Troopers called out commands, but there was no response. That's when the emergency support team rolled in. Using their Bearcat, they dragged the wreck clear of the home before moving in. They found Atwood pinned behind the wheel, unable to move. Firefighters used the jaws of life to cut the driver's door away, finally pulling him free from the wreckage. Atwood was rushed to McLaren Hospital for treatment, then turned over to Bay County deputies to face charges for assault with intent to murder. It was May 11th, 2023, in Cobb County, Georgia, when a police had their eyes on a green Infiniti tied to a violent crime. The driver was identified as 44-year-old Richard Caldwell, wanted for aggravated assault. When officers spotted his car at a Holiday Inn, it should have been a simple arrest. Instead, Caldwell decided to turn a hotel parking lot into the starting line of a high-stakes pursuit.
We're 2 minutes. 10-4. We're passing the academy, coming up on plenty of traffic at the
With lights flashing behind him, he tore westbound down the east-west connector, weaving across lanes and jumping the median into oncoming traffic. Every move was more reckless than the last, weaving, swerving, pushing his Infiniti across traffic like the laws of physics didn't apply.
Great, go straight down! Straight down! Crawl to me now! Hey, back up this way, back up!
Caldwell climbed out and dropped to the ground, arms tucked close, refusing to follow orders. Officers weren't taking chances. A taser was deployed, bringing Caldwell down and allowing officers to move in and secure him in handcuffs. Caldwell was transported to the hospital complaining of back pain, then booked into the Cobb County Adult Detention Center. Alongside his original aggravated assault warrant, he picked up new charges for felony fleeing, eluding, and obstruction. One bad decision outside a Holiday Inn ended with a wrecked car, a trip to the hospital, and a jail cell waiting in Cobb County. In police chases, it's usually the suspect who ends up in the worst situation, but not always, and this case proves it. An Arkansas state trooper clocked a Honda for speeding, but instead of pulling over, the driver decided a ticket wasn't worth it and hit the gas. The trooper quickly closed the gap, lights flashing, sirens cutting through the night. But the Honda's driver wasn't giving in. Trooper lined up for a pit, but it didn't go as Trooper planned. As the trooper made his move, his own cruiser skidded into the guardrail. The impact completely wrecked the patrol car, leaving the chase hanging by a thread. Luckily, the trooper walked away without injury, and while the suspect escaped the crash, unhurt as well, his freedom didn't last. The Honda driver walked away from the scene with no injuries, but with a long list of charges that will follow him much longer than a speeding ticket ever could. On February 23, 2025, in Little Rock, Arkansas, a gray Corvette tears down I-630 at 92 miles per hour in a 60 zone. Behind the wheel, Jorge Rubio of Tennessee, who had been in Arkansas long enough to transfer his license, but never did. Behind him, Arkansas State Police, who weren't about to let a high-powered sports car make the rules.
Traffic light. Light traffic. What's the speed? Speed,
As troopers closed in, Rubio weaved recklessly through traffic, cutting across lanes and pushing the Corvette well past 90. When he blew through a red light at Cedar and 12th, the car nearly lost control, almost colliding with innocent drivers.
Speed to 80. Sarasota Energy behind smoke. He doesn't come out of town. Going down to by traffic.
6-2, I'm on the wrong side, trying to get back on the right.
The Corvette roared forward one last time, but speed and recklessness had caught up to the suspect.
This car's mobile. Speed 80. Primary, on secondary, I'll call it. 47 running into the workplace at work using my trap unit.
He's wrecking out, wrecking out. Wrecking out.
Sorry, think about the rest of it.
Rubio was pulled from the wreck, taken to the hospital, and later booked into the Pulaski County Jail. He was charged with felony fleeing, speeding, reckless red light runs, illegal tint, and failing to transfer both his license and registration to Arkansas. A Corvette might have the horsepower to run, but against Arkansas, state police horsepower doesn't equal escape. It was June 22, 2023, when traffic was already stacked with people heading home from work, when deputies spotted a silver Chevrolet Blazer weaving all over the highway. What started as a simple left-of-center violation quickly turned into something much bigger. For the first few miles, the driver cruised close to the speed limit, almost as if he thought deputies might give up. But then, the Blazer punched the gas, heading straight for the town of Cord. With Batesville just down the road and traffic piling up, troopers knew they had to stop him before he reached the more populated area.
Newport unbent, North Charlotte Road, about to do a pit. Going North Charlotte Road.
On a straight stretch, the trooper saw his chance. With no traffic in the way, he lined up for a tactical vehicle intervention. The SUV plowed into a mailbox, smashed through a culvert, shredded a fence, and then rolled over before finally coming to rest. The driver was pulled out and identified as 37-year-old Russell Hodum. He was transported to the hospital with injuries from the crash. He was charged with felony fleeing, aggravated assault, reckless driving, criminal mischief, no insurance, driving on a suspended license, and much more. Property damage alone topped $2,000, but at least Batesville was spared from a reckless driver tearing into evening traffic.